From Six Forks Studios, located in beautiful Raleigh, North Carolina, this is the Hardison Cochran Attorneys at Law podcast. The podcast is about North Carolina personal injury, workers' compensation, and disability law. Now here's your host, Bill Campbell.
Hello and welcome to the Hardison Cochran podcast. Today's episode is going to be short and sweet, and it deals with workers' compensation. Workers' comp is something we've covered a lot here on the podcast, but it's pretty much assumed that when we do talk about it, we're talking about folks who have full-time jobs. So that raises the question, when someone is part-time or a seasonal worker, is there anything different? I caught up with Ben Cochran to get the answers. But first, as always, I must read the disclaimer. Listening to this podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship between you and Hardison and Cochran Attorneys at Law. Hardison and Cochran does not accept new clients without first obtaining a signed agreement. The information shared in this podcast is for information purposes and should not be intended or taken as legal advice as to yours or anyone else's legal matter. If you have a legal matter, contact an attorney about your specific set of circumstances. All right, Ben, we've been talking a lot about workers' comp in these podcasts, and it's kind of assumed in all of them that we're talking about people who have full-time jobs. Now, there's a lot of people out there who have part-time jobs. Now, is there any kind of difference in any of this information you're going through in all these podcasts that apply to someone with a part-time job and are injured as compared to somebody who has a full-time job and is injured?
Information I'd like to give folks who are injured on a part-time job. The questions and the issues that you run into that are, number one is, this is my part-time job. Am I available for workers' compensation benefits? The answer to that, clearly yes. Now, since it's your part-time job, the amount of hours that you work there and how much you make a week is going to be significantly less. Your average weekly wage and compensation rate is still going to be determined based upon the prior 52 weeks that you worked part-time. Now, if you've only worked there for a limited period of time, then that will also affect the amount of compensation that you receive. So the next question that people say is, okay, well, I'm injured on my part-time job. I can't do my part-time job, but I also can't do my full-time job. Can I get compensation for being out of work from my full-time job? The answer is no. The insurance company or employer, they are only liable for the risk that you are exposed to based upon your part-time job. So if you're only making $200 a week at your part-time job and you get injured, you're only going to receive a compensation of 2/3 of $200. Unfortunately, it may make it so you're not able to go back to your full-time job where you make $600 a week. So at this point, you're not going to receive any compensation, even though you can't go to work to make the $600 from the insurance company for the job that you worked at, because they only have to pay you 2/3 of the $200.
We'd like to thank you for listening to the Hardison and Cochran Attorneys at Law podcast. If you would like a free consultation about you or a loved one's legal situation, please go to lawyernc.com and fill out the contact form or live chat with us. For a full list of episodes, please visit lawyernc.com/podcast.